What's good, y'all? StudioSounds.com back with a quick little tutorial. We dropped a bunch of new banks on the site last week, and one bank that really stood out and that people really seem to love is the XO, the Overdose bank. So there's a bunch of people who purchased it who had a bunch of questions about how I put together the little demo beat that you hear in the video and in the demo. So I just kind of wanted to run through that real quick. This is based off of the old Weeknd sound, which the whole bank is based off of that. So it's based off of stuff like House of Balloons, Thursday, Echoes of Silence, that kind of creepy, weird R&B hybrid type sound. So keep that in mind. So let's go ahead and just jump into it, and I'll show you guys what I did. So the very first thing I did was I used the contact, obviously the XO, the Overdose bank, which is available at StudioSounds.com. I went to electric piano section and I used piano 3, and I laid down just a simple chord progression, just using minor chords, and here's what that sounded like. So I had a nice kind of more sad type feel. It's minor chords, so they automatically give you a more sad kind of creepy type feel. So that fits the Weeknd sound. So the next thing I wanted to add was a nice kind of thick bass sound. So again, I used bass sub 2 out of the bass sub sections in the XO, the Overdose bank again. And I just added some, a few notes basically just following along with the chords to kind of complement it. And this is what that sounded like. This bass that I chose has a nice kind of gritty type feel. It's nice and deep and has a nice great bass tone to it, but it also has kind of a top end a little bit to it. So it's a little more aggressive than just a regular sub bass would be. So kept it pretty simple. So the next thing I added was some pads to this, and these pads are really what kind of gives this that feel that I was kind of explaining to you guys in the demo. You can just take some regular chords with a regular bass line, you know, nothing too crazy in here or complicated, and now you want to add these little pads to it, and this is going to give it just a whole different kind of vibe. Now this is perfect if you want to do everything from like Tory Lanez to the Weeknd to the Drake stuff, Post Malone, Party Next Door. Everybody uses this kind of stuff. So the next thing I added was, again, in the XO, the Overdose bank, in the atmospheric pad section, and it was atmospheric pad 101. And here's what this sounds like. Just a slight little kind of thing that you really won't notice too much, but it'll just change the tone of it. So it just changes the whole kind of tone of the track, gives it a little more creepy feel, a lot more open type feel. And now you could have flipped this 1,000 different ways from this. Like I said, you could use something like this for everything from Tory Lanez to Party Next Door, Drake, you know, all the kind of popular stuff right now with the melodies and the kind of creepy type feel where people are singing, but it's still a trap type song. This is a perfect bank even for doing stuff like that. So once I had that, I continued to layer different pads over it. So the next pad I used was Atmospheric 6 in the same actual folder. And here's what this sounds like. Okay, and then I added a couple other things to this. On pattern 5, I added another pad. Now this pad was more of a pad that's just gonna complement the actual chords and just kind of thicken those up a little. So I just played chords with these. I just played one note literally with the other ones. But this was Atmos 106, atmospheric pad 106, and here's what it sounds like by itself. So as you can tell, it has kind of that lo-fi type feel, but still has that creepy kind of weird type sound where it actually changes and it morphs, and it just helps to kind of dirty up the sound a little bit and just give it a different kind of feel that you're looking for. So when you combine these two patterns, basically this is what you will have. Okay, so once I had that, I wanted to add something a little bit more melodic. Now this is where it's going to kind of transform from just a regular thing that you can use for Tory Lanez and people like that to something a little bit more Weeknd oriented, just because you want to make it a little bit more melodic. So I added Contact again, the same bank, EXO the Overdose, and I used Pluck 9 from the Pluck sections, and I just added a little, basically a quick little melody to it with just a couple notes. Okay, and then basically from here I started doing the drums. Now the drums, believe it or not, actually all come from the Trap Fever drum kit that we have. And here's what the drum kit, actually what the drums sound like by themselves. But all these are in the Trap Fever kit, which is a great kit because it has everything from trap sounds to more kind of unique type sounds that you can use. So here's what this sounds like. So just use some reverbs and delays on that, nothing too crazy. And then for the intro, I just used one of the Atmos pads again, just to create that creepy kind of feel that the Weeknd was really known for on the first couple of mixtapes, where they had those weird kind of intros and stuff like that. And here's what this pad sounds like. It's just going to kind of build up, and that's what I used for the intro. And it's just one note, by the way. So as you can see, it's just a little bit about sound selection, having the right kind of sounds to really add that kind of tonality to your chords and different stuff that will just change the whole mood of the track and give you that kind of creepy feel that's super popular right now. So I hope that helps some of you guys out. I hope you guys learned something. If you want to pick up the preset bank, it's actually huge. I only used a couple sounds here. It has actually over 160 different sounds. You can head over www.studiosounds.com right now. Until next time, studiosounds.com.